Humans are afraid of a lot of stuff, especially when you get resources. You want to protect yourself from gunshots, you want to protect yourself from the weather, or any kind of thing. Some folks are even afraid to get on a plane. But do you know what is the largest killer of all people? It's not gunshots, it's not war, it's disease. And many people meet their demise from being sick. I went to medical school and graduated, and a joke that I used to always tell, one of these diseases I get to die from one day. Not so funny, right? But it's true. And one disease is right now hitting hard in Chicago. Nope, it's not gunshots. That disease is always there, right? But the one disease that's really got folks shook, measles. Now, measles is an upper respiratory disease, meaning that it's very easy for you to just like cough on somebody, easy to transmit. For me to give you a really good definition, let's check out this clip.
Measles is an airborne that spreads easily through the coughs, sneeze of infected people. Measles can be serious and fatal for young children, as it can lead to pneumonia, blindness, diarrhea, swelling of the brain, and even death. It is the leading cause of death in children. Measles can spread fast in places where people are not vaccinated. Anyone who is not protected against measles, especially children, are at a risk of getting infected. This is the reason why it is of great importance to be up to date on vaccinations.
So guys, measles is a very old disease. And in fact, we believed in America, we eradicated it in about 2000, 2001. So how are we still dealing with measles now?
Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPuca is here. Dr. John, thank you for being here. So why are we seeing these outbreaks?
Well, there are these pockets of people who are unimmunized, and that happens every few years for whatever reason, right? The way they get infected, the way the outbreak starts is they go outside the country generally, and where measles is more prevalent, and they get infected there, they come back here, and they start an outbreak because remember, you can be infectious for 4 days before you even know you have, before you get that rash. Well, you can have some symptoms before you get that rash.
Yeah.
Before then, you may have some cold-like symptoms. I have a cold, no big deal. Then you get the rash, and you've exposed a ton of people, and it's so infectious that if you are not immunized, there's about a 90% chance, if you're next to somebody who has measles, that you're going to come down with measles, and the virus can actually stay alive for a couple of hours in a room, even after the person's left the room.
Oh, man.
That's right. And most of you guys think about Chicago, it's a big city. They have many medical schools there. It's the third largest economy. Why are they having a problem with measles? Stop the show. Let's go back to the doctor when he said people usually get it on vacation and bring it back. But what about people coming into the country with the disease? We wasn't thinking about that. But that is exactly what is happening. People are coming into the United States largely unvaccinated with these diseases. And it's okay if you get a vaccination for measles, but some people don't like vaccinations. And you can even still get it if you're unvaccinated, just like COVID. But let's get back to measles. Let's assume that you're a pregnant lady, right? And you're in a grocery store, you're unvaccinated. You come across some person, let's say a migrant, who coughs on you. Not only are you gonna get measles, your newborn can get measles, and then guess what? The birth weight could be very low, leading to all kind of crazy complications. And of course you get like the runny nose, fatigue, red eyes, cough, and you get these really cool red spots and a rash around your face and white spots in your ears. It's a really painful thing to go through. But wait a minute. What migrant shelter is producing measles the most? Let's check it out.
Well, health officials detecting a second case of measles right here in Chicago, and it is traced to a migrant shelter in Pilsen. Fox 32's Joni Lum reports medical teams were sent to determine if this disease has spread.
2 measles cases on 2 sides of the city. Health officials identified one is a child living at a shelter in Pilsen for new arrivals. Health officials are there to vaccinate the other residents. There was a police presence outside the shelter at Halsted and Cermak. Residents are not allowed to leave unless they are vaccinated for measles as health teams investigate. 25th Ward Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez said in a statement that he visited the shelter Tuesday. 1,876 people live there, including 95 toddlers between the ages of 1 and 2.
Now let's get back to the whole measles thing. Pilsen is where it's at. I don't know where Pilsen is in Chicago, but I do know this. It's a real big safety concern for people in the Black community, especially since some of the migrant shelters have been put into where African Americans are living. Not only that, I'm pretty sure that some of the migrants could be trying to get into school. Some of them could be carrying that, and that could be a big situation from those people going to school. And also, it has to be a big stress on public health department in Chicago. Now let's talk about the migrants also being evicted. That's another big thing. Brandon Johnson is giving the migrants like 60 days to get put out, unless, they have a special circumstance. Well, if you don't test positive for measles and you're getting put out, well, at least if you were just there, maybe you might have some way to quarantine. Remember, we have 98 folks quarantined. Nope, put them out in the street. Some of these people are trying to sell candy bars. Like, yo, my man, can you get a cigarette? Woo! It's all bad. Again, African Americans are all Americans, but I focus on the Black community. This is a danger to our people. We are a big part of the Chicago-based community, working in every sector of the city. But now, the taxpayers' money, which should be used to do things like things in the community, redeveloping housing, even helping transportation, whatever would make Chicago better, $300 million of that is going to the migrant crisis. And now you're gonna have more stress because of the diseases that are coming in from outside the United States, even creating a possibility for an epidemic. And we just got over an epidemic, really a pandemic, with COVID. And can we hear round two? You definitely don't want measles back in the country. And this is what people didn't realize. A lot of times, being a first world or developed country, we kind of believe that we got it all figured out. And for the most part, the United States has many things figured out. But when you're letting people come across the border in buses and they're not being vaccinated, whatever they're coming in with, they're bringing in here with, and some people are not vaccinated. So that creates a big public health concern. So it's not only a resource thing, a tax thing, we're not spending this money on the city of Chicago thing, or to be even more concrete or more deliberate with my messaging, we're not investing into the Black Chicagoans' experience, helping them get better. Now we gotta worry about, wear a mask, or let's not go outside because measles is out there, don't want you to get sick. And yes, measles can kill kids, it can kill adults. So, what are we gonna do about this? I don't know. I'll tell you where I'm staying, in Africa. I'm not gonna be in Chicago no time damn soon. That's for sure. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shadu Jackson, back at it again with another episode here on Kanganda. Peace out.